have that Jesus did not have? You ready for this? Write this down. There are two things that we have in our country, in America, that Jesus never had. Two sources of power that he didn't have access to. Number one is influence, governmental, societal influence. Jesus could not vote, nor could he lobby, nor could he run for any sort of office. If he was going to do anything at all in this world, it had to be subversively through the group of people that he developed as his disciples. And they were greatly successful at it. That was a wonderful thing. But we have the opportunity to change societal problems that Jesus could not have addressed on a society level. He wasn't a king, but every one of us is a king. Did you realize that? In this country, every one of us has given royal standing because we have a voice over the direction of our entire government. That's an amazing thing that we have that Jesus didn't have. But secondly, you know one thing that we have that Jesus didn't have? Money. Jesus didn't have any money. I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking in a negative way that maybe the reason we don't see miracles anymore is that we don't rely on the Holy Spirit to do them. We rely on our money to provide technology, to provide resources, to provide help and healing for people. So maybe it's the fact that we have money that means we're not relying on the Holy Spirit, and because we're not relying on the Holy Spirit, we don't see the Holy Spirit. And then this thought struck me. Maybe, just maybe, God doesn't do miraculous miracles with the Spirit anymore in this country because he's already given us the wealth to take care of this stuff. And all of a sudden my mind began to change. That the power of God I so long for, the power to look at a person and put my hand on him and have his leg grow back to a normal size, or have his arm be healed, or have his eyes regain their sight. The power that I so long for from God to do that kind of stuff, in many respects, I already have. He's given me more money, and I don't think I have a lot, but he's given me more money than Jesus would have seen his entire life if he lived to 80. And I get that just about every single year. Because Jesus got nothing. This is what's shaken me up inside. That the Bible is calling me to do some things. And if you go back to that verse 4, Jesus says, as long as it is day, we must do the work of him who sent me. What that means is as long as I've got daylight, I'm going to work. As long as I've got an opportunity, I'm going to do something. As long as I blank, I can blank. Let me ask you to fill in those blanks with something. Seriously. As long as I have time, I can give time. As long as I have health, I can give myself. As long as I have money, I can give money. This is the thing. Jesus says, as long as it's day, we've got to take advantage of the day, because someday we're not going to have the daylight, and that's the day we stop working. But until that day comes, and Jesus says, oh, by the way, I'm the light of the world, which means as long as he's alive, there ain't going to be no night. So as long as we've got that light going on, we got to keep working. Are you following me? As long as I've got something I can do, I should do. And when I run out, that's when I run out. And I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But until I get there, I got to keep working. So how does this apply to us? I've got a couple ideas, but I wanted to share with you just real quickly. I get phone calls. I've told you this. I get phone calls quite frequently from people who find our name in the yellow pages, and they're looking for a church to give them some money or a handout or something. And so they call me up. And they'll be asking me, do you guys do rent assistance? Do you do other kinds of financial assistance? And I've spoken to many different people over the years, and I always sense there are 4 key things that they all need at least one of, maybe more. They all need a relationship with God. They need to know that Jesus died for them and has forgiven them. Number 2, they need a supportive community. No one calls me unless they are estranged from their family, distant from their friends, or something. I ask every one of them, do you have a church family? Is your family in town? And every one of them is like, no, I don't have anyone to turn to. They all need God. They all need a supportive community. Then they all need either money or me. Some people call me and they're like, could I get a ride to church? I'd love to come. I told this guy last week, I said, well, I'd love to take you, but I get there at 8:30, and I'm generally pretty darn busy the entire time from when I wake up until then, so, maybe we could work that out. But I didn't have any resources, so I said, do you have any family or friends who could bring you? And that's where sort of the conversation ended, because it was one of these internet things, just kind of email messages back and forth. And I thought, man, that's a guy who didn't need money. He just needed a little bit of time. He just needed a friend. He just needed someone who would say, yeah, I'll help you out with me. Not with my money, just with me. And I couldn't do it, and so I felt kind of bad about that. But everyone I talk to needs these 4 things, at least partially: a relationship with God, a supportive community, and money or me. That's what they all need. And so I've thought up a way for us to solve that problem. Are you ready? If you flip the page over, I've got 2 blanks. In 2011, this is how Lafayette Community Church is going to solve that problem. Are you ready? Here it comes: Facebook and Twitter. Actually, I'm serious, okay? Let me tell you what I mean by that and how this is going to work, all right? We've got a Facebook page. Go ahead and put the Facebook page up there. This is what our Facebook page looks like, Lafayette Community Church. So you scan down, you see our baptism classes on Thursday. Our vision dinner is on Saturday. There's something else down there. 96 people like us. That's cool. 1 person actually checked in. If any of you have an internet device like an iPhone or something, you could actually check into Facebook right from your phone right here, because we've got open Wi-Fi and everything, and you could check in and say, hey, I'm here. You go to Facebook Places. I don't even know if you know how to do that stuff. But anyway, this is the way we're going to use it, okay? You see that wall? If you have a Facebook account, you know how the wall works. But this big area right in the middle where it says write something, and underneath that is all this stuff. I want you to like the page and or follow us on Twitter, however you want to do that stuff. It's Lafayette CC. However you want to do that stuff, or get text messages from this thing, however you want to do it. But this is what's going to happen. Every time I get a phone call from someone who says, hey, I need some help, bang, it's going on that wall. And then we together are going to find a way to help it. If a person needs a ride, it's going on the wall. If you need a ride, it's going on the wall. If you need some money, put it on the wall. This is the way we're going to work, because we're committed, or at least we should be, to be people of refreshing water and giving other people a little bit of blessing when they can. And here's the deal. If someone doesn't know God and they don't have a supportive community, we can't imagine that they're going to be able to find their